2, 1, 2. Ah, okay. That's good. I've monitored myself now, so... okay. Hopefully, now, you should be able to hear me. Let's have a look. It's usually a case of pressing a few buttons and changing a few things around. So now what we've got on my preset microphone system's working on my headset at the moment, which is not Bluetooth, it is VHS. The headphones on my head are white infrared, so different frequencies. That's not like Bluetooth or anything like that. The frequencies we used to use 20 years ago and 10 years ago, and actually they still work because they don't interfere. If I had a Bluetooth on or something like that, it would interfere with this frequency. So I'm running an infrared on the Sony headphones, and the microphone system is running a VHS. So completely different frequencies, but it gives you a nice clean signal, and it also blocks out a lot of interference that you would pick up with Bluetooth. You can still hear a whistling though, so that, I don't know, that's a bit worrying. I don't quite know where that's coming from. Get that off. Ah, it's the lights. Okay, so as you can see over there, the lights have gone off, and if I put them back on again, we seem to have some interference somewhere. So if I take that off completely, see it stops. Even if I plug it in, that's not too bad. It's got a good insulation on there, but it can still pull in the signal. So that's not a problem. I got everything nice and clear there. I'm going to just have a quick monitor on here on my phone, so I'm going to take these off again. Okay, so I know what the problem is now. It's always best to just stop for a few seconds and have a listen if there's something wrong, and then work out what's going wrong. In my case, it's that. Never mind. Okay, well, hi guys, how you doing? Hope you're well. Thanks for joining us again. Steve Francis in the home studio. It is coming up to 1:30. Well, it's nearly 2 o'clock in the morning, actually, but that's not a problem. So, well, what is the update today then? Well, actually, what the update is, I've actually redone a little bit of wiring on this keyboard here. Because this is a synthesizer keyboard thing, but it hasn't got no speakers. It works like the Taurus, it has its own separate ones. I've made it so it has the output of the headphone socket to go into the mixer, and I've also have the keyboard on top is running through its headphone socket, and then this one goes into the microphone socket. So the microphone socket is pulling in the signal from this one, and it's also doing the headphone socket, which is basically back out to that one. That way, you get two clear sounds that's not going to interfere with each other. So if I just bring this one down here, nice clear sound, and it's level, you see, because you're running two on the same frequency. So if you did something like this, that's when you have a nice, good balance of the keyboards. A lot of people go the other way. They'll probably go through the back of the keyboards to have them on the sounds that's coming out of the keyboard. Well, that's a good way. But if you really want to level two keyboards off, instead of having two line outs on each keyboard, the best way I find is to run the top keyboard into your microphone socket for the input. You can control the sound and the output and everything from there. So that's like a preamp. You're preamping into your second keyboard, and your second keyboard will pull out by the headphone socket, because the headphone socket runs out in stereo. And then basically you'll get a better quality sound, a better bass and a better treble. Everything will be leveled off. You won't have to muck about with it at the mixer. What bands normally do, they'll have different things and channels and that. But the keyboard player will basically be just a normal keyboard sound. Now, if you wanted to do a keyboard that's basically going around to pubs and things like that on his own, he would be better doing this system because it would level off a lot better on the quality of sounds, and also you wouldn't need to do too much mucking about with the mixer. I'd hardly touch my highs, lows, and my mid-range controls, because basically, if you've got it leveled off on the keyboard here and it's coming through on here, and you're using that as a preamp, then the preamp is going to pull out the signals from all them and level them off as it comes through the headphone socket, because the headphone socket's going to come out in stereo and level off sound. And it's a brilliant system because it levels off perfect. The volumes are about the same, everything, like, so you're not having to do everything by volumes. You're not really having to have a sound test. Sometimes I go to gigs and I don't even really set anything up, basically. It's just do a system like this and then it's all leveled off anyway for a start. So you're all leveled off, you know. And that means that you can go the other way then. You don't have to go this one. You don't have to run it on here. You can actually run this one with the rhythm and then that one up there, because everything's still leveled off. So let's go find something, shall we? We'll put it on the music finder and we'll go and see what we can find. I don't know. Let's see what that does. Nothing's programmed as usual, but we'll see where we go. That's nice, isn't it? Let's go here. that's how you get a nice level sound from two keyboards. Perfect. Okay, let's do something else then. Okay, so we played something on those, played something on these, played something else, just one now. mix and match there, as we normally do. Let's see. Ain't done a music finder on this one. Let's go see what we can find. Just go, I don't know, press buttons. Nothing's planned. I just go on, press buttons, and enter something, and see what pops up. I suppose that's the main thing, isn't it? Interesting. Some sort of ballad. no jazz there. As I say, it's just a case of whizzing this thing around and finding out where we go. It could be anything. I've got loads and loads of styles on here, and I just pick them and choose them. I don't really plan anything. Nothing's planned on these do's. I just go live. You're with me. Everything's live. We don't have MIDI. We don't have auto-tune. We don't have auto-chord. We don't play with little screens that you play about with little markers and jigsaws and things like that. It's all live, and it's all me. And that's the difference. jumping from keyboard to keyboard today. How are we doing, guys? Robert, hello, how you doing? Oh, that's it. I do that every time. I've sort of got like a glass here with some orange juice in, and it usually picks up one of these coasters and then chucks it straight on a wooden floor, and that wakes everyone up, basically. It is about 2:23 in the morning in the UK here. And thanks for joining us. My partner's basically asleep next door, so I always have this set up here. And what I've done is basically got a radio mic, so I can move about, swivel around, no cables, lovely. And also we need, obviously, to listen to myself, so I'm not too loud, because all I'm doing is really whispering. I'm very, very quiet, and I don't even disturb anyone then, you see. Got my own room here, it's nice and quiet. I've got this radio mic on here. Now, it's running on a different frequency, so we don't have no interference. The headphones are running on the old Sony ones, where basically they have the infrared that hits the little beam on top, and then I can monitor that way. But to interfere with that, if it was Bluetooth or anything else, then you'd have noise and interference and that. So what I've done is I've gone to the UHS headphone set, and of course that's as clear as I'm talking to you now, so I don't get no interference, I don't get interference this. All these keyboards are into one mixer, and one mixer is straight into the computer, which is on the USB, so couldn't be any easier than that, could it? Still got a microphone system I'm running into at the moment. This is also picked up with a receiver, and also I'm running into a little box of tricks here that gives me a few little effects, and I can do some different effects there. Like I can go into a big hall or a big cave. I brought along my audience.
I love it. You guys are so great.
Love it. We've got all sound effects and that. It's push button job. Okay. You see.
Awesome.
See music breaks there. Different sounds effects over the phone. We've got that and all that. Just going through them all.
I love it. You guys are so great.
She comes up every week. Yeah, so loads of little effects like. It's like amazing little box this is. Also does some weird things and all.
You can change your voice and basically make yourself sound a bit different. You press it again.
And it gives a little bit of a deeper voice, you know, deep.
And you press it again and you go like that, and it's pretty cool.
And then you push it again and you get another one. But then you got to get it back.
And then you got to get back to the normal.
So you keep pressing buttons.
Until you get round to the right one.
And eventually you get there.
Yeah. Hang on.
Could be that one. Yeah, that's not too bad. So that's basically your primal sound, which is all the sound coming to one. Then you've got a recording studio. So I could give it a little bit more effects and that. Then you can go into a pro studio, and that gives it a little bit more depth and things like that. Then you go to a pop studio, and that gives you a little bit more entertainment. Then you can go to an MC, or you can go to MC. Yeah. And then...
C major.
Sorry? Say it again.
C major.
Right.
Shift to D major.
Right.
D major.
Okay.
Shift to F major.
Fine, I'm not...
F major.
Right.
Shift to G major.
Yes.
G major.
Right. G major, whatever that is.
Shift to A major.
Shop to G
A
major.
major.
A major.
Shift to B major.
Sheep to me major.
B major.
B major. I haven't a clue what that one's on about. And then we've got the karaoke effects, so you can do some karaoke effects if you really want to go in the rare way. So there's quite a few little things you can do on this. I usually like it back on the recording studio, and that seems to be a bit more not too bad. And then I'm leveling my sound through the sounds, through the keyboards and everything else. Who am I? Good idea. My name's Steve Francis. I'm a professional keyboard player. Although I was a professional DJ, but basically I just do the keyboard playing now. Probably go around the care homes. I'm sort of semi-retired, so I only pick and choose the jobs I want now. I've done 40 albums, all on BANDCAMP. They're all on the links. If you go to the profile, you can have a look and see all the links and the websites. I check them every day, so they all work. It's not a problem. I look after the group, Facebook group for Tyrus keyboards, and also Casio. Well, these are Casio keyboards. I got Tyrus downstairs, although this basically is just one before the Tyrus came out. Altogether, I've got 8 keyboards. I've got 2 more downstairs. I do I do a Sunday chill, which is downstairs, and in the music studio, with another keyboard on top, like the PSRS 500, which is the mini Taurus. In fact, sometimes when I go gigging, I don't take any of these out because they're too precious to take out. They're rare keyboards. These are 40-year-old, but they're like brand new. Came out in the 80s. And they still work perfectly as the day they ever came out because they've been looked after all their life. This one's a 20-year-old keyboard. Well, no, it's 30-year-old, this one. This one's a Technics, top-of-the-range Technics. Then we got top-of-the-range, what have we got here? This one's the PSR S900, professional. And then we got on the top here, we got the Yamaha PSR 2100, the very rare one that came out. And here is the very, very rare one. This one is the Casio MZ2000, sort of the, it's sort of the best of the best, really, that came out, really, of the Casios in the 80s. And then you've got the middle versions of these that came out. This is the WK 3800. And this is the WK 37. Very, very close, both of them. Lots of good rhythms in there, lots of good styles, lots of good automatic things on them. As I say, I only use the stuff from the factories. I never program them because I can't see the sense in it. But by playing by ear, I can do that. But another good thing that I can do, what a lot of musicians cannot do, is I can play in the frequency of 432, and that is why you're getting such a clear and wonderful sound, because it's tuned into your ears. And that is the frequency that everyone should have been learning in the first place. Lots of people will disagree with me because it was back in the 60s when it was changed. So any person that was learnt any music by then and not back into the 50s will notice that they've been learnt wrong. So I have many, many arguments over this one. In fact, I gave up now. I'm not bothering with them. If they don't want to go on board, that's fine. So basically, the frequency should be turned to 432, not 440, which everyone says, because it was changed back in the 60s, and it was brought out by Hitler and stuff like that. Yes, it is free, it is true. The problem is everyone seems to blank it off. But all my keyboards are tuned to 432, and this is why you get such a nice, smooth sound. And there you go. obviously music professors are going to go, no it ain't, because that's their reputation. They've been taught wrong, they are never going to admit it, but there you go. I love it. I mean, you can play anything on 432, and it's easy. It's easy. Old style stuff like was Elton John plays it, Paul McCartney plays it, the Beatles used to play it. We all play it in that frequency. It's only these stupid idiots that learnt it wrong that's trying to say that you should be in 4/4. Well, 4/4 is horrible, terrible sound. You never ever want to be playing in 4/4. God. Anyway, let's see what we got, shall we? Not bad for 60 proof. 432 is dead easy. I mean, I'm 64. I'm not doing too bad for 64, am I? Everybody thinks you ain't 64. Yeah, I know, yeah. Yeah, I know. Good healthy food, that's what it is. And sleep well. Different hours, I must admit, but I do get a good night, 8 hours sleep. Get away with 6, but, you know, 8 will do nicely. Okay, so let's do a little bit of difference now. See what else we can find, shall we? I always like doing this. You could find anything, and it's great for just learning. Well, I don't know about learning. I've never learned in my life. I just basically was able to play when I was 3-year-old. The difference by playing 4/4-0 to 4/3-2, you can also finish on the right note. Dear, love it. Oh, orange and pineapple, love it, love it, love it. So yeah, yeah, believe it or not, I'm 64, crikey. Yeah, oh dear. Can't be bad. Yeah, where should we go? Let's try this one. Let's see what's on this one, shall we? I always like a challenge. Whiz that around a bit, and move this up and down, and take that one around a bit, and move this one up and down again. I don't know what I've got. Until I press the, where is it now? OK, that's it, OK. So now it's set for God knows. Let's have a look, shall we? One of them. Changed it a little bit, obviously, because me being on here, I'm doing it on a line, in live, and then I usually put it on YouTube. it will go, oh, you can't play that one, no, you can't play that one because that is a copyright, that's a copyright, and then you have to go through all the fucking rim-de-ramble about copyright. So, yeah, it's quite cool. So that's why I try and confuse the algorithm. Yes, I am playing your tunes, but unfortunately I'm playing it in the wrong frequency. Oh dear, I love it. So you can't do no. And then when you know that, they don't say no then. It's pretty cool. I love these sounds. Fantastic sounds coming out of these keyboards, I tell you. It makes me laugh, actually. All these modern musicians now, where they play about with computers and have all these little, I call them jigsaws they put together. Like they take about 10 seconds of a bloody sound, and they think, oh, that's it, I can use that, and copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. You're not playing the bloody thing. That's cheating in my eyes. Take it from a real musician, that's cheating. I don't go for any of that lot. Yes, we've got a bit of technology here, but we've not got, but I'm still having to use it manually, that's the thing. And that's the thing, AI is going to die soon anyway, it's not going to, people are going to get fed up with it soon. The only reason I use AI in my stuff is to help me, because at school I was dyslexic, and in the 70s we never had anything like dyslexic. No, that wasn't nothing to do with anything like. So we was called thick. So we was in the thick class. So I never got to get my qualifications for engineering, electrical engineering. So, but there again, luckily enough, I took a different path, and I'm a musician now. So my own business, mortgage is paid for, laughing really, living a big house. What else can you want? So yeah, it's the right way to go if you are not dyslexic. Yes, you could probably read the music and things like that, but I never was able to. Luckily, I was able to play the keyboard. I had that other skill, play by ear. And I can imitate nearly anything. I go around care homes. I had at one stage 100 care homes at one stage. And 2 or 3 bookings a day, like, you know, it just got crazy. But I started off about 1 gig, that got to 3 gigs, and in the end of the week I was up to 22 gigs. So then basically I thought, okay. So then it started going from Bourne, then it went out to Morton, then it went out to Grantham, then it went out to Lincoln. So I thought, I've got to stop this, otherwise we're never going to hear the end of it, like. So I basically kept it to that 100 people, like I'm just about able to do 100 care homes. And yeah, I never looked back really, I loved it. But now I can just pick and choose the jobs now. I don't really need to go flying out and have three gigs a day, like. So basically I just do this now in my home studio. I've got the best of the keyboards you could have in the 80s. And I've got 2 more downstairs in the 90s. So basically, you know, that's what I do. If you go to BANDCAMP, you'll see all my albums. The only reason I do have AI is for my spelling and my grammar, because I was no good at it. So it's obvious, you know, you need something to help you out. Luckily enough, this AI, I've trained it very well on my computer, and it knows me off by heart. It knows the way my spelling is, it knows the way I talk, it knows how I get things wrong. So I can write into it and ask it a question, and it'll understand me because I've trained it to know just me. And that's good, because every time I come on it, it goes, hi DJ, what should we do today? So it's personal, yeah, it's really great. And it's good because I can ask it questions where it can look around the world and find the answer. Where basically you couldn't do that. If people say to me, yeah, okay, for your albums there are a bit of AI on there. Yes, they are. Because the simple reason is, if I had someone I was talking to, they would give me feedback, sometimes good, sometimes bad. And it's only non-provenable if it will work or if it wouldn't. But you talk to an AI where it's got the whole world that's changed or checked all these systems and worked out how all this works and everything. It knows because it's got the database all around the world. So, you know, why pay someone to actually make a print for your cover when basically you can get an AI to do it straight away? I can make an album in a week. I've already done one at the moment. There's one coming out next week, and that was done on, which keyboard was that? If you look at my studio albums, the first one that comes out was this one. So that's the volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, volume 4, volume 5, volume 6, volume 7 is downstairs. I've done that one. And then I've got another one, volume 8, to do. So there will be 8 volumes because each one represents different keyboards. And it's a good thing, really, because if someone wanted to know what these vintage keyboards sounded like, there you go. I made an album for it. Whether Yamaha and Technics want to sort of buy them off me or the rights, right? You know, I'm here to talk, like, you know. Always a bit of a wheelie dealer, but there you go. So yeah, the albums are on there, BANDCAMP. I'm also steadily putting them onto another format, which is Evo Stage. Now, Evo Stage is basically, you can make, as an artist, I can put my information into their database, and they can basically make albums for me, for my customers. So my customers go online, and they buy it online, and it goes straight to them, because Evo Stage sorts it all out for me. And then I get the profits, and, you know, we do from there. They take their profits, I take my profits. I've made the music, and I've designed the covers and everything. It's just like a record label. It is a record label. It does vinyls, and it does CDs. But the best thing about this one is it does it in a just-in-time system, because it does it by a fibre optic that can make these things out quick. You know, probably got 4 or 5 of them in a row, or 6 or 7, like, you know. And it does it in a just-in-time system. So I don't have to worry about having 1,000 orders before I can actually say to a record company, can you make me a load of records? Because they wouldn't want to know. But with this, it doesn't matter. I haven't got no fixed fee. They make them as they come in, like. So if one of my customers bought a record for me on that website, because basically there is basically on the website I've got my own store, so I put my records out on that. Say you can have this vinyl, you can have them a CD. I think the vinyls are about £12. The vinyls are £27. That's it. But the CDs are cheaper. They're about £11. Albums. Obviously on BANDCAMP they are available on there if you want to go online, and you can have it like a bit of a Spotify thing like that. You basically buy them. I think they're a bit cheaper. I think I've got old albums in there for £5, newer albums for £7, and then the new albums are basically for £10, which is still a good price anyway. It's only if you want to go for the different format, which is basically a CD, which is £11, £12, something like that. And then you get a proper CD coming straight to your post and all that, which I think is a brilliant value. And also £27, which is obviously the price for a vinyl, because that's what the cost is nowadays to make them. Basically that would come to your work and to your house anyway, like. So it's a great sort of system, Evo Stage, and basically you buy it online, it comes to you within about a few weeks, something like that. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, and you can take any currency. So it's a no, you know, they do my vinyls. Listen to it on BANDCAMP, that's not a problem. You can have a listen on there. I think I do 27 free listens. I don't charge anything, so you can listen to that. And then basically, obviously, it locks in, and then it says next one you've got to pay for, like, you know. But you can still follow me, that's the best bet. Come and follow me on BANDCAMP, see what I've got on there. There's also YouTube, I've got a YouTube, I've also got merchandise, I've got my hat on here, like. and cups and saucers, and I think 52 items, if I remember right, 52 items. That's on my band, my fan, merchandise. That's it. Yeah, getting it around my neck now. So yeah, have a look all on there. They're all loads of links on different websites. They all link back to each other. The only thing I don't do is I don't stream. I never ever stream. I don't go. You won't find me on Spotify. You won't find me on Apple. You won't find me anything like that. I'm an independent artist. I do everything myself. I never ever have agencies, and I've turned so many website companies and labels down. Whether they're real or not, I don't know, but I don't want nothing to do with those because I don't really want to get too far into the music business. I want still control over myself, and that's what's happening. I'm happy like that. I'm making a bit of money out of it. So yeah, it's great. And they do these live do's here. I think I've got about another 50 more to do on my YouTube, and then they start paying me. So it's all going quite well, but it's took a long while. It's took 2 years on my YouTube to get up to that stage. I've been about 2.5 years, I think, on it, and I've still been building it up and up and up, but still not got monetized. I've got everything else, but I've not got monetized. I will get monetized, but the good thing about it is when I do get monetized, I've made so many videos that it's going to be a fantastic bit of payout, really, when you think of it. Because the simple reason is that I've over 400 videos on YouTube. So work that one out when they're paying something like about £900 a video, like so. Yeah, but it's still a long way to go. We're still got about another. What have we got? You've got to have 10,000. You've got to have 1,000 views. No, 1,000 subscribers. Well, I got 600 and some odd. And you've got to have something or other, 8,000 or something or other hours. Well, I've got quite a bit, but not that many. 400 and some odd. So it's getting there. I'm back just over halfway. So it will get there, and it's getting there steadily. But the thing is going there slowly because I'm not cheating. I'm not buying into one of these farms where they put about 60,000 bloody mobile phones and have it do it like that. That's cheating again. I don't do cheating. It's like this music, I don't do cheating on here. I don't do MIDI, I don't do auto-tune, I don't do auto-chord, I don't do any of that crap. It's all me. And if I go wrong, I go wrong. I don't faff around with it. And a lot of my fans, agree with that. I've got over 100,000 fans that follow me. Every time I go online, there's 117,000 I did see the other day, and all my things. One good thing is I left school with very good maths, because my dad was very good at maths, so I could do pie charts, I could do things like that, so I can work out things like that. And that's not a problem. It was just the English that bothered me up, because I was dyslexic. So, what can you do? Swings and roundabouts, isn't it? But there again, it's done all right, because maths is the main thing. If you can do maths, you're laughing, like. And I'm laughing. So yeah, it's good. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. As I say, I'm 64 now, so I could be retired. I'm sort of semi-retired. I'm there if people want me and that. We've had some requests. I did a Bourne festival actually, which I'm in the town of Bourne, and basically I did it about 4 years ago, I think, yeah. And every year they used to ring up and say, February, you've got to get the deadline in if you want to come and down. Well, every time I put it in there, but someone don't like me, so obviously I never got anything back. The last 3 years, I put my information in the very first week you want for being on the stage for a festival or whatever. And no one come back to me. No one even bothered. And I thought, fuck it, I've done this 3 times now. And then he rang me today, he rang me, he didn't ring me, he texted me, do you want to go again this year? And I thought, no, fuck you. You know, why, if you can't be bothered to come back to me and explain why you can't tell me that I've actually gone straight to the first week, and then I know when you get near the festival back in June, like, you're rushing around to find musicians, you know. So I've done my part. If you can't be doing your part, well, fuck you. That's all I'm saying. I'm not interested in people like that, because I tried, you know, I'm here to help you out if you want to do music and that. Yes, I will do it. I mean, a lot of people, my friends, have said, why don't you do the Bourne Festival? Well, I did it about 3 years ago, but someone on the committee there doesn't like me because it just stops, and that's it. So as soon as you find out that one, you might get somewhere, but I can't do anything. It's up to them. Anyway, I'm not interested anymore anyway. It's pissed me off completely, no, that's. It's their loss, not mine. Okay, let's try something else, shall we? I like that, that's nice, isn't it? Yeah, I'm afraid I'm all right with people, and I'll get on really well with them, but they cross me once, they'll never cross me again. Because I never talk to them again. Ooh, that's good, isn't it? Sounded good from the headphones, anyway. Right, so let's have a look. That's good. Let's do. I've just seen something. I might have a bash at that. Let's back up to there. Click that. Click it again if you do. That's it. That's different. Okay. Whoa. Something's not working here. Something is not working here. Oh, well, we'll give it a go. There you go. Something not quite right there, actually. Not getting all the actual... Don't think we're getting all the beats on there for some reason. Where's the drums? We've got all them bits, but where's the drums gone? Should be some drums in there somewhere. No drums. I can't believe that. Oh. We normally do have some drums in there somewhere. I mean, if we went to something a little bit lower, let's try on this one. See if they've got no drums on this one. There it is. There it is. So it's got this tambourine there somewhere. Yeah, it's interesting, that one. I thought there'd be a lot more drums in there, but... yeah, it's there. It's definitely there. I can know that one. Love it. Okay, guys, thank you very much for joining me. Hope you enjoyed the studio. Now time is coming in the UK. It is 4:30 in the morning. So hope you enjoyed it all around the world. This is why I come on late, because I can talk to all my friends all around the world. And they're up at the time which is appropriate. As we know, we're about 5 hours or 10 hours or 6 hours, or even in Japan, like 12 hours, or even Australia, at least 12 hours. 6 hours, I think it was Japan. 12 hours for 12 hours for Australia. Oh, it's 12 hours from Australia. 12 hours, close to 12 hours, I think it is. It's probably about 6 or 7 hours, probably difference in Japan. I know this because we've got all friends around the world. And then America, we've got 5 hours difference, depending on where we are, 5 to 6 hours. So yeah, it's all go. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the setup. Hope you enjoyed the music, and hope you enjoyed the sound. Now I actually got it right. Andrea, Robert, we've got Donny, Tom. Who's that? Tim, Terry. Quite a few T's in the background to what I'm doing. That's the good thing about a business account. You can actually see a lot of things that normal people don't see. And there's over 120,000 people watch tonight. Crikey. Thank you very much, guys. Well, take care. I will see you soon. Check out all my albums, all my merchandise, everything else. Okay, guys. Thanks a lot. See ya.